Yeah, we'll move on. Thank you. Move on to Zoom.
Her response?
They only know that other girl because of me, too. They only go to her games instead of my games because of me, too.
Or are they Angel Reese, the content creator fans?
Angel Reese just got publicly humbled by a Chicago Sky reporter on live TV. And honestly, this reality check was highly needed. The same girl who once claimed fans watch women's basketball because of her suddenly went mute and hit us with a next question when asked to own that statement.
That is crazy as hell. I mean, empty, all that. As we enter a new season is perfectly normal and not stirring things up.
Like, duh. What even if you can't stand your own statement?
She talked about sold out arenas. What arenas are selling out that Caitlin Clark isn't playing in? I need to know.
That silence was louder than any stat line Reese has ever put up. It wasn't just a dodge. Nah, it was a total surrender. Angel couldn't handle the heat of her own words, and the crowd felt it deep down. That awkward moment when your mouth runs ahead of your receipts. You say you're the reason people watch the game. Then when someone calls you out, you shut down. That's not confidence. That's someone realizing maybe they got a little too full of themselves.
What about viewership? Tell me everybody who's getting consistently over 1 million views on their basketball games, not named Caitlin. Oh, okay.
And speaking of receipts, let's talk about the cold hard numbers because they don't lie. On one side, Caitlin Clark's games regularly pull in over 17,000 fans. Yep, sold-out arenas that vanish faster than free food at a party. Like 45 minutes flat, gone. Her jersey? The second best-selling basketball jersey right after Steph Curry.
Angel Reese, why are we next? This guy set you up perfectly to give an answer of you being full of yourself. Oh, I'm so glad you asked that. They are only watching because of me too. They only know that other girl because of me too.
That's not just a popularity, that's an absolute phenomenon. Over 1 million viewers tune in regularly just to see Clark do her thing.
And then Angel Reese goes into, I'll be happy to play the villain role. I'll be happy to play the villain, but don't be mean to me.
Meanwhile, on Angel Reese's side, the story isn't as flashy.
Angel Reese's mom taking to X to tweet this after all of the hullabaloo about Caitlin Clark and the high rate.
The Chicago Sky average home attendance hovers around 8,000 fans. That's half of Clark's sellout numbers. Reese's own LSU homecoming game managed a mere 6,000 fans in an arena that can hold over twice that. And don't even get started on the Sky's game against the Minnesota Lynx. Only 4,600 showed up, and when they faced the Lynx in Minnesota, 7,600 fans came out. But most of those were probably there rooting for the home team, not Angel. These aren't superstar numbers. They're more like background noise stats, the kind you don't brag about in interviews.
Arrogant, Angel Reese sounded. I forgot how full of herself Angel Reese sounded. I forgot not only how nasty she sounded, the nasty facial expressions.
What makes this even funnier is how Angel once talked like she's equally responsible for the surge in women's basketball popularity as Caitlin Clark. She was out here saying she's the villain and she's owning that role, going so far as to claim she'd go down in history because people watch the sport because of her too. Bold words.
Now, keep in mind, whoever asked this, and there's people clowning the person that asked this, it was her statement going during the basketball season from last year, and the person's asking for her current feelings on said statement, her own statement.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is out here breaking records, selling out arenas, and practically carrying the WNBA on her back. She's not just a star, she's a whole galaxy.
There's one thing that Angel Reese is not. Angel Reese is not a draw. If you haven't believed me before, this weekend further proved that point. Because the Bayou Barbie was officially rejected.
Angel Reese? She's still stuck trying to explain why the crowd isn't showing up for her like they do for Clark. The contrast is brutal. The numbers don't just tell a story, they shout it from the rooftops. And the silence from Angel when confronted with that truth? priceless.
We're going to find out very quickly who amongst the Chicago Sky fans are really and truly basketball fans, or are they Angel Reese, the content creator, fans?
Angel Reese came out swinging with some seriously bold claims, saying she's just as responsible for the rise in women's basketball popularity as Caitlin Clark. She wasn't shy about it either, dropping lines like, "I'll go down in history," and "It's because of me too." She even played the villain role like it was some kind of badge of honor. The audacity was real.
Her statement going during the basketball season from last year, and the person's asking for her current feelings on said statement, her own statement.
But here's the kicker. When someone actually asked her to stand by those words, she bailed. No explanation, no stats. Just straight up running from her own statement. You can't just ask for the spotlight, soak up the hype, and then duck when it's your turn to own it. That's not how any of this works. When you put yourself out there claiming you're half the reason people watch, you better be ready to back it up. Reese's silence said way more than words ever could. It screamed that maybe she's not quite ready to carry that crown.
Angel Reese's mom taking to X to tweet this after all of the hullabaloo about Caitlin Clark and the high ratings.
And just when you thought it couldn't get any messier, Angel's mom jumped on social media trying to throw some shade back at the critics.
Certain fan base looking in the stands celebrating attendance, while others are looking up in the rafters celebrating championship banners. We ain't the same. Different year, same haters.
She tweeted, "Some fans are celebrating attendance, others are celebrating banners. Translation? Yeah, our stands might be empty, but we got rings." That defensive clapback was more like pouring gasoline on a fire that was already blazing. Instead of calming the storm, it showed just how much pressure they're feeling. Fans saw right through it, salty, tone-deaf, and a desperate attempt at damage control that backfired hard. It's like they tried to flex their success, but ended up exposing how shaky their position really is. When your best defense sounds like an excuse, you know things aren't looking great.
Asked about this exact statement, and she decided to duck it.
This all ties back to the brutal truth the numbers reveal. Caitlin Clark isn't just making noise, she's packing arenas, selling out tickets in minutes, and breaking records left and right. Meanwhile, Angel's trying to claim equal credit while the attendance numbers and fan enthusiasm tell a totally different story. The contrast couldn't be clearer. Reese's big words, followed by her silence and her mom's defensive tweets, only underline how much the spotlight is shifting. The WNBA is moving forward, and those who can't back up their claims are getting left behind. The ball's in Angel's court now. She can either step up or step aside.
And now we get word from the coach that Angel Reese is going to have a modified role.
The story keeps getting juicier because the Chicago Sky just flipped the entire script, and Angel Reese isn't exactly playing along. Coach Tyler Marsh decided it's time to shake things up offensively, and that meant Angel's role got a serious makeover. She's no longer the unstoppable rebounding queen who dominated the paint. Nope. Now she's being asked to become a stretch four, which basically means stepping away from the basket and hitting jumpers.
She's not as close to the basket on offense, which she shouldn't. It should clear out the paint and underneath the basket for Camilla to be able to rebound, and we know she can hit layups. We've seen them over.
That's a whole different game, and it's a big ask considering how she built her brand around crashing the boards and racking up double-doubles. Meanwhile, Camilla Cardoso swooped in and took over the paint like she owned it, which she pretty much does now. The days of Angel padding those rebounding stats are gone. The Sky aren't here to let her coast on what worked before. They want a whole new level of versatility, and Camilla's stepping up big time to fill that paint throne.
I think Angel's really good. I think she's really good, and I just think the team would be better if, they anchored their defense around the elite defensive player, and kind of ran their offense, maybe not through Camilla because she's not going to pass it, but run their offense
And here's where it gets messy. After this role change was announced, Angel Reese basically ghosted training camp. No shows, no comments, just radio silence. It's got fans split. Some say she feels betrayed by the team's sudden shift away from her strengths. Others think she's dodging the hard work of adapting and growing her game.
And they want her to shoot more mid-range. This should be very, very interesting.
While Angel seems caught in this rut, Camilla Cardoso is rising fast as the real star for the Chicago Sky. Camilla brings better finishing skills, cleaner fundamentals, and a buzz that's gaining global attention. The timing of her breakout, right after making waves with her national team, feels perfectly aligned. Not some accident, but a clear sign of the Sky's future. Camilla adapts, evolves, and fits into a system that demands versatility and hustle. Angel, on the other hand, resists change, holding tight to what she knows instead of pushing herself to grow. That's the difference between a player stuck in the past and one driving the team forward.
Of the Chicago Sun-Times, Reese has yet to post up at training camp as she learns a new role for the offense. Oh, this should be very interesting. Quote, for Reese, that means adapting to a modified role that will tap into her full potential as a stretch four.
Chicago isn't building around a celebrity name or hype. They're crafting a well-rounded dynamic system that can win games. Camilla fits right into that mold, while Angel's style feels like a mismatch with the direction the team is headed. The spotlight is shifting, and it's clear who's moving up and who's falling behind. This isn't just about skills on the court. It's about mindset, adaptability, and being ready to step up when the game demands more. The Sky has made their choice, and Angel's resistance to change might just leave her watching from the sidelines as others take the lead. So, will Reese finally start working on her career or remain stuck in the Me Too camp forever? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.